aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that in this life.
One street over from where you live, and that's what we're doing here. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and again, this is just one street over, a chance to know what's going on in the community, in the county surrounding us, and all the things. And I love it when everybody reaches out to me and they say, LaVern, this is going on and you need to know about it and I want to come talk about it. That is what Becky Gunn has done. And you really stayed on it, and I thank you so much. I'm telling you, I need that, because I was just telling her, I said, I am just one of these people that is so scattered, and it's been one of those years. There's been so much going on, and I'm officially graduating, teaching license, all that on Wednesday.
Way, congratulations.
Yay. And it's not a real teaching license, in the sense that it's a career teaching license. It's the one that the state has us do. If you're a career teacher, they want to make sure you know how to teach, how to understand the standards and how to bring that into your curriculum and to build lesson plan. And it's been helpful. Oh, I mean, there's no doubt. It's been super helpful. But I'm just so tired of going to Murfreesboro because I've had to travel. And so I've got to go to Murfreesboro. Right. They're making us come one more time Wednesday, and I'm done. So I think it's going to kind of calm me down a little bit. It's just been that season this year. It's just been between that and, of course, my mother's passing and, all the things. It's just been that year. So I'm greatly anticipating 2025 as being something that's going to be, let's see what God does with it. I'm excited. How are you doing?
Doing well, yes.
We're just talking about things we know and similarities we have, and it's so funny. People will sit down across from me, and I'm like, how do I know you? And I feel like I've met you somewhere around.
Probably.
We've got a CFC background, so that may have been because you said you were at Lipscomb?
Yes.
Okay, when were you at Lipscomb?
86.
Okay, well, I was
long time ago.
Just before that. I was there 83 to 84 the first time. And then I dropped out just hours away from graduating. That was stupid. That was dumb. I was like, well, I'm U-Turn LaVern now. I have the job I want, because they'd already hired me to do traffic. And I was like, why am I finishing school? Idiotic. Kids don't do that. Anyway, I went back in 2009 and got my degree. And so I joke that it probably cost me more that 1 year than it did the entire time I was in college back in the 80s. And
Right.
I'm not kidding.
Right, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we've got the Lipscomb connection. So I don't know. I'm sure our paths have
Yeah,
crossed
I'm
somewhere. I just
sure.
really feel like I know you. But anyway, yeah, I love what y'all are doing because you've got this special event coming up where you're putting the wreaths out for our amazing veterans. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I love it. Now, and this is something that it's the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Right. The
And you're-
Charlotte Reeves Robertson chapter here in Springfield. Yes.
And I love that. So when did you become a DAR, D-A-R?
About 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. I just, on a whim, thought, I want to do this, I think. And now I'm regent, which is like the president.
Oh my gosh. Don't you love that?
Right.
That's fun. But here's the thing, did you already know that you had the connections to qualify?
I did not. I did
Okay.
the research on ancestry and found it out.
Okay, because see, I know that I do because my father, God bless him, he loves all this historical stuff. He loves all this just ancestry stuff.
Right.
And we lost him to an aneurysm and we lost so much. He wrote notes, but we can't read his handwriting.
Oh,
I need to have somebody that's an expert with handwriting analysis that can come in and give me
Right.
the decipher on his stuff. And I keep thinking, one of these days I'm going to go through these videotapes that I've got and I'm going to have something where he talked about it. Because I don't know. I recorded so much stuff. That's
Right.
when we were just starting to record stuff.
right.
And so maybe there's something there, so it's never really been my thing to dig into it. But he told my sister and I, oh my gosh, years and years ago, y'all qualify for the Daughters of the American Revolution. You need to join. And we were both kind of like, And we were probably in our 20s and 30s,
Right.
somewhere in there. And we were like, sure, Dad. And now it'd be kind of cool, to look it up, but I don't even know where to start. I've got some cousins, I think, up in Paducah that are on my grandmother's side, the Barkers, and one of them had I think that's how he found out that we had that because she had done the work.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's the thing. Once you get going, did you find other relatives that had done some
I
of the
have
work?
found a bunch, but I have to prove them.
Oh, okay.
But we have people in the group who help you do that,
Okay.
who help get it all together.
That's interesting. So if somebody's interested in being a DAR, a Daughter of the
Yes.
American Revolution, what do they do?
You can contact me or our website, the Charlotte Reeves Robertson Daughters of American Revolution. We have a website, and send an email, and then we can get in touch with you and get you going from there.
Okay. Well, that's cool. And I think, and y'all meet up at the house, right?
Yes, on the Glen.
The Glen. It's like, I remember when I first moved here and somebody says, well, that's the Glen. And I was like, okay, the Glen, and I didn't understand what it was really
Right.
until I sat down here. I just knew it was the Glen. I said
Yes.
the house.
Yes.
And I kind of call it the house, because I never could remember exactly what it was. But it's cool. The history on that is it was donated for women's groups to meet in. And I think it's beautiful. And the sampler is what helps keep that up.
That's correct.
And
yes.
so all these groups that meet there come together and help put on the sampler. It's really cool. It's just a cool thing here, but it's at the Glen, and I love that. It's so,
Right.
I think of the blue-haired ladies, Yeah.
Right. Not all of us have blue hair.
I know, you obviously don't, but you know what I mean.
Right. Yes.
There's a story I love to tell, and I'll tell this real quick, but it's Springfield Drugs.
Mhm.
They had a soda fountain.
Right. Oh, I
Yeah.
loved it. Yes.
awesome.
Loved it.
And I would go in there. The Hagans are just dear friends.
That may
They're-
be where I know you from, because I know the Hagans very well as
That's
well.
probably it. That's
Yeah.
probably it. And so, were you at were you at the Main Street Church of Christ for a while? That's
Yes.
where I know you from.
Yes.
Because we came there briefly when we first moved here. We went there for about a year trying to, set.
Find- mhm.
Yeah, but we just missed Madison so much, and our
Yeah.
kids ended up going to Good Pasture. It wasn't the same. We missed our friends back at
Right.
Madison, so we ended up, commuting for church. That's where I know you from.
Yeah.
That's it. So anyway, but I can remember I'd go in there all the time, and I miss Donna's gifts because I never failed. If I couldn't think of something for somebody, I could go in that store
Yeah.
and find something because Donna was so good at going to the merchandising things, those big
Right.
events,
Mhm.
and she would come back with some of the coolest stuff. And so that was my go-to shop
Oh,
for,
I
for
loved it,
gifts.
yeah.
I did too. Just loved it. But I walked in there one day, and there was a bunch of blue hairs sitting around a table, and the leader of the pack was Miss Payne.
Yeah.
and I can't remember her first name, but Miss Payne, and she had that Southern drawl. And I walked in, and she says, "Young lady, what is your name, and who are your people?" I just got so tickled at her. I was like, "Well, hello to you too." But that's the kind of people I always pictured at the Glen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love that. I loved the Paynes. I worked at Payne for about a year. Absolutely adore that family. I hated selling cars. I think they get a little feelings hurt when I say I hated selling cars. They were wonderful to me, and I loved it. But
You
I
have
hated
to
selling.
have a personality to sell
Yeah,
cars.
and it was because it was right after my dad died, and I was just kind of restless. And but I absolutely loved the Paynes, and I was like, but I'm not a car salesman. But anyway, they were so good to me though, and I loved her. She was just precious, and but I love that story. And I just, what is your name and who are your people? And she'd tell you about jitterbugging down after the war, and oh my gosh, she was so funny. She was so funny, just a doll. But anyway, so y'all meet at the Glen. When do you meet at the Glen?
The second Thursday of every month.
Okay.
From September to May, and then we're off for the summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're meeting during Christmas and all
Yes,
that. A lot of people take
this
time.
coming Thursday.
Okay, see, a lot of people take time off during the holidays, and then they meet the rest of the time. But y'all find it works better.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a little more downtime.
Right.
I'm sure Amy Corbin appreciates. Well, I don't think she's in DAR, but some of the other groups might meet all year. Because I forget, she's in the business one, and maybe another one. I don't know. I don't know what all she's
there's
in.
a few of them there.
Yeah, that's just it. There's quite a few clubs, and but this one, you guys have got a special event coming up.
We
And
do.
When did this start? And kind of explain to people what you are doing.
Okay, so I'm taking a course through DAR, and I had to have a project. So I looked at the list of projects, and it said Wreaths Across America. And I thought, I've always wanted to do this. Let me try this. Well, I didn't have a lot of time, and so I chose a small cemetery, which is Bellwood in Adams, because I didn't want to go to one of the larger ones in Springfield that had a lot of veterans in there to start my first year. So I chose Bellwood, and I've been working with Jeff Ayers there. He's the manager of the cemetery, known him most of my life. And so found out there were 109 veterans buried there.
Oh, wow.
And so I sent out a Facebook post asking people to purchase wreaths. And within a week, we had already sold the 109 wreaths. I was so excited.
That is very cool.
So this coming Saturday, the 14th, at Bellwood, we'll have a ceremony. And it starts at 11. It's going to be at the same time all across the country. So at Arlington, it's at noon, and so it's at 11 here in our area. And we're going to have the mayor, Billy Vogel, there, and Adams City Mayor Wayne Evans is going to be there. We're going to have Fort Campbell's Color Guard and Bugler there to start and end our ceremony. And then at that point, volunteers will put the wreaths and some family members on the graves.
And so what time does that start again?
At 11.
At 11.
Yes.
That's our Christmas. We're having our family Christmas on Saturdays. There's no way I can be there. That's going to be right in the middle of it. But man, we'll be with you in spirit. But what a beautiful imagery, and the weather looks good.
I know. I've been checking the weather.
Yes. Because I've been checking the weather because we're getting together and having our Christmas that day. And so you're gotten in the 50s. Going to have some cloud cover, but yeah, it should be beautiful. It'd be beautiful picture weather. You can get some beautiful images.
So yes, I'm really excited.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. And I love those. My daddy used to love to go to the old cemeteries and look up people, and I never really got it. I get the beauty of it now, because my parents are buried in the historical cemetery up in Mayfield that was, on the edge of the tornado devastation where everything got wiped out and it stopped. I mean, we just knew when the tornado hit Mayfield, we just knew that it had wiped out the cemetery. Yeah. And we're stunned. That
it quit right there.
That it quit. It was so bizarre. But, and that's Daughters of the Confederacy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cemetery. And that's the thing. My dad was so into that history. And so that's so beautiful. And you said now they do it at Arlington. Yes. I bet that's a sight.
Yeah. I mean, they're following the trucks from up north somewhere all the way down to Arlington and have a police escort with all the wreaths that are going there.
I can't imagine how many because they're all
I know, right.
They all get a wreath.
I know. That would be a nice one. And then they have the little headstones where at Bellwood, they're flat, so the cemetery purchased stands. So we're putting the wreaths on stands so they can be seen.
Okay. Okay. How
Mhm.
cool. That's cool. Man, that's going to be neat. That's going to be neat. Do you still need volunteers? Have you got people signed
We
up? What's the
do.
situation?
I do not know how many people are going to be there at this point. And the Cub Scouts or Boy Scouts
Oh,
have
yeah.
expressed an interest, and I hope to hear back from them as well.
Mm.
But of course, I've recruited my children to help me out. So, yeah.
That's very cool. I love it. That's going to be a great event. And give them the particulars again in case somebody's just tuning in. They're going, what did they say?
Okay, it's
give them
at
the particulars.
Bellwood Cemetery, and the program starts at 11 o'clock this coming Saturday, the 14th.
Okay. And if you want to be there to volunteer, I mean, keep in mind, too, that you may get enough volunteers that you may just get to bear witness to.
Right, that would be
That'd be-
nice. I would
yeah.
love to walk around and take pictures or video it. Yeah, that
That'd
would be
really
great.
cool. I love it. So we're talking with Becky Gunn, and she is with the Daughters of the American Revolution. If you want to be a part of anything she's got going on, you can reach out to them and say, hey, I kind of think I've got the ancestry to go back, and you can be a part of the group. How many do y'all have in the local?
We have 70. We just had
Wow.
3 new ones that were approved, and we have more that are in the queue to be approved, which is really exciting.
I love that. It's so much fun. Lee Marie is chiming in. We were talking a little bit earlier about trying to we're trying to figure out how we know each other, and we were talking about the Springfield drugstore and how we miss that as a gift store. And Lee Marie being the pushing the small business, she goes, Crossroads Christian has lots of gifts. You're right, they really do. Crossroads Christians is awesome. Nancy does a great job with hers, and then they're at 600 South Main. And she's right next door with the Well, where you can take some dance lessons. So she's very good at promoting our small town
Yeah.
business. And so, yes, thank you, Lee Marie, for that. But, well, have you got anything else coming up that you want to talk about? We've got some time. We've got Jason Royalties coming in here at 7:30 to talk about the things going on at their congregation and South Haven, right? Yes, I think that's South Haven. And but they've got some things coming up. But what else have you guys got coming up from Daughters of the American Revolution?
We just have our program that's, like I said, the second Thursday every month. And then if you're interested, you can either contact dar.org and put in where you're located, and it'll tell you a chapter near you, or our chapter's website.
So could somebody actually come to the meeting that's just interested this week? Say, hey, I just want to knock on the door and just see what this
Sure, of
starts, you know?
course. And it's at 11 o'clock on Thursdays.
Okay. Do y'all
And
have
it-
lunch or how's
We
it
do.
work?
We have lunch and we have a program. This month's program is going to be, we're doing a Christmas ornament out of neckties. Normally we have a speaker,
Ooh,
but this month we're just doing a little craft for
I want to know
Christmas.
how to do that.
It's really cool.
I've got all my daddy's neckties.
It's really cool.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I'm teaching though.
Oh.
So can y'all do like a little video tutorial?
Of course,
Or maybe
yes.
it's one of those Pinterest things I could
It is.
find.
It is on
necktie,
Pinterest.
Necktie ornament.
That's where they looked
Oh,
it up on Pinterest.
Are you kidding me? Pinterest is awesome.
Yeah.
You can find something, you'll see something and you'll think, what was that? And then you can go to Pinterest and find it a lot
Right.
of times.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I get a lot of cooking
what
recipes.
did we do before we had all this? I think
We
it's-
knew because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have anything growing up.
Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? But we have come a long way, y'all. That's why I keep telling my students. I say, man, y'all live in the coolest time. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
Right.
'Cause everybody's like, oh, doom, despair, and it's like, stop it. It's a cool time.
Right.
I mean, you've got everything at your fingertips. We were talking about, Church of Christ and all that, and our theology. And one thing you'll appreciate this, I think, is how I feel like that so much of what we know about the way we grew up was limited to what we had in our library.
Right.
This really hit me going through my father's library
Mm-hmm.
because it's a C of C library. Now he also had Dad was very inquisitive, and so he loved to study. And so he had copies of every religious, he had as many things he could get his hands on. But primarily, it's a library you would find in a Church of Christ minister's
Mhm.
house. And, we were limited by the library that we had access to. And now our library is literally limitless. You just have to
Oh,
make
yeah.
sure you know which is real.
Yeah, the real
and
stuff.
what's not, because there's that issue. But
Right.
well, what's going on? Because what else is going on? Because we've still got 10 minutes.
Oh, my
Becky.
goodness.
I'm telling you, we've got tons of time. You got lots of notes there.
Well, I can't read them without my glasses.
There you go.
Well, I was just going to possibly mention, and so to be a member of DAR, is for women 18 years and older who can prove the bloodline of a descendant of the American Revolution. But as well, there's children of the American Revolution and sons of the American Revolution. And the sons do have a chapter here locally.
Okay.
I think I have mentioned everything else that I
Well,
have.
so when it comes to your ancestry, you have who are you related to? Tell us a little bit
Richard
about.
Vernon is his name.
Okay.
And he's actually buried in Franklin. And
Really?
we have a state conference that is in the Franklin area. And I went to the cemetery. It's a family cemetery, and I was able to see all of his family that's buried there. So
Oh,
I was
crazy.
really excited.
That's crazy. when did he pass? What year?
I believe it was 1796.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm curious about the history around where I live because when we moved, like we live just 2 miles from here. We live at the farm that's at the dead end of Lawrence Lane, and when we bought that place, we bought it to warehouse our roofing company. So we turned the big red barn became a warehouse, and the dairy barn was it was finished out and became an office building. And we didn't have a house down there, and so there was a house on the property that we had to tear down. We ended up building a house, but we had to tear down this old house. As we were pulling it away, there was a cabin under it. And it had a peg ceiling in it.
Oh.
And we did everything. We spent a fortune trying to preserve that, but it was full of termites and it was starting to collapse. We were so afraid it was going to fall on somebody's head. And so
Right.
we just finally dismantled it. And it makes me sick to this day that we couldn't save that thing because we tried. But it was one of those things that because of that cabin, I know we've got some rich history there
Right.
because that cabin was a 2-story cabin. It was,
Wow.
I hate we lost it.
Yeah.
To this day, I just am like,
You mentioned a dairy barn. My father was a dairy farmer
oh, really?
back in the early 70s.
Well, see, my daddy farm, my family still farms in West Kentucky. My brother and his wife own the farm that I grew up on, that my father grew up on, that my grandfather started. So my brother's third generation. And we were a dairy in the 60s and switched over to pork production at, a little bit after that. And we were fortunate enough to have a pork production facility until it got to where it wasn't any money in it. Then they switched over just to a straight row crop.
Yeah, I showed pigs in 4-H.
You did
Yeah,
not.
I did.
I never showed pigs or anything like that, but I had corn production. We had hogs in high school, but we just, I messed with them as much as Daddy made me, but we had.
My dad just had 3 girls, so I was his boy.
Well, see, I was until my brother came along, 5 years, because I kind of followed after Daddy, and so I was the tomboy, but I got interested in basketball and all those kind of things, and my brother was always a farmer, and so proud of him. And but yeah, that's funny. We had hogs. We raised them farrowing to market.
Right.
So we had farrowing houses and
Right.
all of that
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and so I had to kind of do some stuff in there for a little while, but mostly we did corn production and stuff. But I was an FFA.
Yeah.
I was an FFA. I've got the
The jacket?
I do. I can still wear mine too.
Wow.
I break it out every now and then and take it to school. I was trying to find it.
I
the
have
other
my
day.
dad's.
Oh, you have your dad's. What a treasure.
Yes.
How cool. I don't know that they had FFA when my dad was. I guess they did.
Yeah, my dad graduated in 56.
Yeah, see, my dad would have probably been around that same time. But he was one of those that he grew up to go to the county school, but he transported himself to the city school because he wanted a better education. Because he was
Wow.
he was really smart,
Yeah.
and he would have been a brilliant engineer because he did all kinds of inventing and things
Right.
on the farm. There was all kinds of things he just he's like, I think I'm going to build that, and then he would.
I think farmers have to do that.
That's just it. It's kind of like that commercial about the farmer's insurance.
Right.
That's a farmer, and it's fascinating. But my dad, my brother are the same way, and it's just fun to watch. It's just fun to watch. People they break down and they come talk to my family because they knew that we
Right.
could figure it out. My dad and brother can figure it out,
Yeah.
but that's cool. We're just Lee Marie is chiming in. We're talking to Becky Gunn. She is with the Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR, and Lee Marie's chiming in saying she's married to a son of the Revolution. So apparently Stephen is in the Sons of the American Revolution,
Yes.
and she's wanting to know, can she come to the meeting if she does not have it in her bloodline?
If she would need to, I mean, she could express interest and come
Okay.
to a meeting, and then we could do some research to see if she has someone in her
You
bloodline.
may have a connection,
Yeah.
Marie, because I mean we're all so scattered. Now I mean I've got friends. My husband's family. I doubt he could, because I mean his grandfather came over from Bohemia. And then on the other side of the family, it's France. And so, I mean, they're not far removed
Right.
from, like he would be third generation from the Bohemian immigrants. And then his grandmother on that side was Austrian. And then the other side, he's got one of his grandfathers is adopted. So they really don't know the history. So
Right.
that's just, that might be a connection,
Right.
but can you prove it?
Right.
And then I'm wanting to say, the grandfather on that side is French, but I mean, his would probably be a hard stretch because
Right.
we know the kind of where they come from,
Right.
and so that might be a hard stretch. But you never know, Lee Marie. You might be able to connect it.
Yeah.
You might be able to connect it.
And like I said, I mean, I have found through Ancestry and the other Ancestry websites like 15, but I just have to prove them.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So there's just that many. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
And usually, if you have one, their brothers and sisters and parents were in the military as well.
Okay. Well, that's cool. We have. I was telling you about the old cabin that was on our place. We got curious about it and traced the. We had a local gentleman that helped us find the deed of the land at the Revolutionary War. Was Humphrey Hogan, I think. I think it's Humphrey Hogan was the guy who owned our property, and what it was given to him for his service in the Revolutionary War. It was like
Right.
600 acres.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think he ever lived on it, but there was, we found in deeds where it talks about the cabins on Carr Creek, and we live on Carr Creek.
Oh, yeah.
And so we feel like that cabin that we had for a while that had to have been specific to that,
Right.
maybe, and so I still, it just makes me sick as I think about not keeping that cabin. Oh,
Our
'Cause I-
farm is on part of the original Wessington.
Oh,
that
you're
had been
kidding.
sold off in Cedar Hill, yes. We have
wow.
beef cattle on our farm, yeah.
Do you have any of the old cabins or anything on the
No, we
property?
don't. No.
That's the Wessington is under private ownership. Oh, I wish it were something we could go and look through.
I think
You
they
know.
do allow tours.
Do they?
Still, you have to request it, but
Yeah.
he's renovating it right now.
That's cool. Do they have any of the old slave cabins and stuff still?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
Now, I had a friend who lived in there when I was growing up. I went to Joe Burns, and we would stay there overnight since they lived
Yeah.
there, and it was we just had so much fun running around that house.
I bet you did. I bet you did. What an interesting place. And the slave population was massive in this area. People don't realize that. And the property we live on, when the cabin came down, we found some like there was some old bricks that we ended up using that are handmade bricks. I mean, they're absolutely, and probably slaves made them.
Oh yeah,
And so I used those in a patio in front of my house just simply to preserve them.
right.
Because I didn't want
Nice,
to
yeah.
just discard them.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have this one strip of red brick going down my little, kind of a rough made patio that my son and I made, but I'm so proud of it. And with just pavers and stuff,
Right.
And right in the center is the red brick that we found that I know it just has that look. Just has that
Right.
look. So
Yeah.
that's very cool. But I absolutely love all this history stuff. I think that's one of the reasons why my dad he knew I was fascinated by it. He just couldn't get me interested in it while he was alive,
Right.
And I know one time he got up we have the Barker family we're connected to up in Paducah, and he was at a Barker family reunion and got up and walked through all the ancestry and just had everybody kind of intrigued. And then after he got done and somebody said, "Can you repeat that?" He'd gone on for like 30 minutes. And I
Right.
thought, boy, I wish somebody had recorded that. It would have
Yeah.
been nice. But you
Yeah.
just, you got to have these conversations with people, guys, or you lose this. Fortunately, because of the ancestry stuff we can look up, you can find those connections sometimes and reconnect. But,
Right.
well, very good. We're talking with Becky Gunn. She is with Daughters of the American Revolution about their event this Saturday. And I don't know, is Jason out there? Jason Royalty is supposed to be coming in here at 7:30. I haven't seen him. So Jason, if you're out there, you need to walk up to the door because I can't tell. People don't realize I'm live the entire hour, so I can't really go and see what's going on out there. But if he comes to the door, we'll make the switch.
Okay.
But until he comes in, let's unpack again because a lot of times some people will join us later
Sure.
because we start kind of early here. What is it that y'all have going on Saturday? Tell us again why you ended up finding out about the Wreaths Across
Okay,
America.
so I was taking a course through Daughters of American Revolution, and I needed to do a project. I looked at the list of projects and saw Wreaths Across America, and I had always wanted to do this. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to try. I have a short period of time, so I'm going to start with a small cemetery. So I chose Bellwood, which was in my local area anyway. And Bellwood has 109 veterans buried there. And so this Saturday at 11 o'clock, it's the same time all across the country. And at Bellwood at 11 o'clock, we're going to have a program. And we're going to have Fort Campbell's Color Guard and Bugler there, which is really exciting. And then once the program, really short program is over, then volunteers will put wreaths on the graves.
So if somebody else wanted to do this, is this something that you have to be in the Daughters of America Revolution to do, or
You
can
do
you do
not.
that independently?
Anyone can.
Oh, okay.
So I would really like Elmwood or possibly Springfield Memorial Gardens next year, but they would have to know how many veterans because I wouldn't want to miss anyone for
Right,
sure.
right.
The other Adams Cemetery has expressed interest for next year as well. And so, yes, I would just have someone have to do the ceremony at those locations.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Elmwood is the one there on Central,
yes.
isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
That's right. Everybody, I've been here a long time, but I still don't know a lot because it's not, it's not home to me. I mean,
Right.
it is now, but as my mother, she goes, you'll always be a Kentuckian, LaVern. She would never let me
Yeah.
claim Tennessee.
We
You
put flags at Memorial Day on the graves there at Elmwood.
as well.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then-
So the
At Elmwood.
DAR does?
Yes,
Oh,
and then
okay.
someone does the one at Bellwood as well.
Okay. So y'all have determined how many veterans there are.
I'm
at
not sure
Elmwood?
if we have all of them, but someone just told
Okay.
we have a going list.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, very good. There's
Yeah.
Jason. He just came walking in. So anything we need to reiterate before you head
I
out?
think so. I think that's it.
I'm so glad we got to do this. And thank
Yes.
you. Be sure and stay in touch and let me
I
know.
will.
You've got my number.
Yes.
And now we know how we know each other at least. Springfield Drugs. That's
Right,
it. That's the
yeah.
connection. The Hagans, Donna and John. Love y'all. Saw them Sunday. But they were headed to the Titans game. I'm so sorry,
yeah.
y'all. It was not a good day.
And we have
Err.
season tickets, and I just
Yeah.
refuse to go.
Yeah, it was just like ugh, out there, but
Right.
but yeah, I saw them heading out, and I was like, "Go Titans!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get on the big screen quite a bit there.
Donna and John.
They do. I've seen them a bunch on the big
How
screen there.
funny is that? How funny
Yeah.
is that? I haven't been in forever. I've lost interest.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
we have Packer tickets. I mean, the family has Packer
Uh-huh.
tickets, up north, and we never go, of course, because it's up north. But it's kind of like green Packers. We're more Packer fans than we are Titans fans. I'm sorry to say, Jason. What are you doing? You coming on in? Well, we're gonna let Becky slide out, and Jason's gonna come on in.
All right.
And
thank
I'll
you. I
do my, and
appreciate it.
thank you so much, Becky. Yeah, we're still sitting here chatting. He's like, hey, it's my time. It's my time to go. But she told you to come on in, so that's okay. You're fine. You're
All
fine.
right,
I'm just
thank
teasing.
you.
Thank you, Becky. God bless, and I'll let Jason come on in and sit down. And while he's getting settled, let's talk about my friends Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. They are just great friends of this program. They've been with the program now really since we started, and we appreciate them so much. And if you're looking for help in the real estate community, you will find none that will be more helpful and more fun to work with than the Richards. They're a blast. They really are. They're just fun. And I love watching them on social media on their personal pages because you just never really know what they're going to get into. Barry is the marketer of the bunch. He was a vice president of a media marketing company for nearly 17 years in Nashville. Rebecca is one of the first in the area to be a senior real estate specialist. And I remind people, she was a radiologist years and years ago. And then she got bit by the real estate bug just as a part-time thing. Next thing you know, she's going full-time, and she dug into the companies and said, which one is going to really help me with what I really need as far as, helping me to really develop my business. And the one that she found the best fit for her, and she said just across the board was exit. And so she joined the garden. I think she joined the Garden Gate team, and they mentored her. And now they have started their own branch of the Exit Tree, Exit Prime Realty. They're just about a year ago. It was at the first of this year that they brought that out, because they took Barry's brokerage office and then her agency office and combined those two to bring you that new branch in the Exit Tree, Exit Prime Realty. And you can connect with them no matter what it is you're needing. Again, she's one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. I mean, she's specifically trained to help you if you're older and you're wanting to downsize and do something with your property. She can help you with that. And Barry Marketing, I mean, you've got to have those beautiful pictures. You've got the video. People want drone footage, walkthrough tours, all those things. He's an expert at that. And so whatever you're needing, buying or selling, they can help you out. They specialize in Robertson County properties, but also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky, because like me, they are originally from Kentucky. So they get it all. Reach out to them today, and maybe you want to be mentored. Maybe in the 2025, you're like, hey, I want to get into real estate. Reach out to them, and they can help you out. They would love to mentor you. Becky's number is 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425, and you can connect with them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com. Always let them know that you turned sent you. You guys are busy up there at South Haven. My word, y'all have something going all the time.
We do. We had a wonderful bluegrass Smoky Mountain Christmas concert last night.
Oh, great!
With the Steve Pettit Band, and it was awesome. Yeah, we had a great time.
Good deal. Now, are y'all doing a nativity as well?
We are. So next Sunday is our Christmas Sunday.
Okay.
And we'll have Gumbo, the Christmas camel. He'll be with us. And
is it a real camel?
Yeah, real camel.
What?
Yeah, there's Gumbo.
You got a real camel?
He's on our Facebook.
Oh
page,
man,
so check him
get
out.
a real Where did you get a real camel?
Well, it's actually
that's crazy.
Stephen Carr's out of Pleasant View, and
he has a camel.
He does. He's got a couple of them actually. So
I didn't know anybody local had a camel. Maybe
yeah.
at the zoo, but that's cool.
Yeah.
How do you get a camel? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder. How you,
they've got connections, and people breed
funny.
them, and we're gonna have Gumbo. He's a cute camel. We're gonna have him on Sunday morning.
How neat.
So yeah.
How neat. So what are the specifics on, because us that have other congregations and stuff,
Sure.
how can we come and be a part of that? Because I mean, that's something you want to see. That's cool.
Yeah, so in the morning at 9 a.m. is our children's Christmas, our Sunday school Christmas program. So that'll be at 9 a.m. So Gumbo will be hanging out around that time, and he'll be there through the morning activities. And then in the evening, we'll still have live nativity animals, and then we have our Christmas concert. And then after the Christmas concert, we have hot chocolate and things for folks.
So is Gumbo there all day or just in the morning?
Just in the morning.
Just in the morning.
Yeah, he's gonna be somewhere else at night around here. I can't remember what church it is, but yeah,
he's booked.
He's booked.
Gumbo's booked, man. He's booked for the holidays. That's great. That is fun.
Yeah,
I love that. I had no idea anybody locally. I've seen the alpacas and all those kinds of things, and llamas, but I didn't know anybody had a camel.
Yep.
But of course they do.
So we'll have some miniature donkeys too. We have two cute miniature donkeys. We'll have a mom and a baby this year, and then some sheep, and we'll have the shepherds and the wise men and Mary and Joseph. Yeah, so they'll be there at the nativity, our little barn we have set outside in our courtyard. So yeah,
that's neat. That's neat. Very good. Very good. Y'all just have stuff all the time. Y'all have a lot of fun stuff going on. How long have you been at South Haven?
South Haven, I've been at 23 years.
Wow.
I came right after I got out of college, and so I've been there since. Yeah.
And you're the worship?
I'm the worship pastor there. Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
Well, worship pastors. My main responsibility, I'm actually over all the communications. So I guess it means different for different, churches. But for me, it means that I handle the responsibilities in the church for the worship service and planning and all the music events that we have throughout the year. I lead our congregation in worship each Sunday morning and Sunday evening. I'm over the choir and the orchestra, and I have a lot of help. But yeah,
because you have a young woman that's there too, right? What's her name? I thought it's South Haven. Is there not a young?
Well, we have a lady that helps in the school, Andrea Hogan.
Okay, maybe that's who I'm thinking of that I have met. But
we have lots of volunteers.
A lot of amazing talent. A lot of amazing talent at South Haven. That's
Yeah, I'm
really
blessed
cool.
to work with a lot of great people. Yeah,
Right.
for
right.
sure.
How long's the school been there?
The school, 38 years, and then before then it was Tabernacle. It was reconstituted 38 years ago. So the school and church was kind of started afresh. But the history of South Haven Christian School goes way back before then, in the days when it was Tabernacle Christian School and Tabernacle Baptist Church. Yeah.
Just an amazing history. Really
Yes.
is. I need to come and visit because it's one of those things that, because I have other affiliations and stuff, but I know the amazing work you guys do.
Well,
And I need to just come and just visit and see what all y'all, just to take a look and see what you're all about. Because I know it's just such an amazing stuff going on there.
yeah, we'd be glad to have you. And next week would be a great week to pop over there.
I hear you. So you said next Sunday is actually your Christmas Sunday.
Yeah, yeah.
But then what do you got going then the next weekend? Because that's actually the Sunday before.
Mm-hmm.
So the 15th is the day you're doing your nativity
Right,
and
right.
your events in the morning.
Mhm.
So what's happening then on the 22nd?
So the Sunday before Christmas, we'll have a lot of special music and different things like
Okay.
that. But yeah, our Christmas concert's on the 15th. And then on Tuesday night, the 24th, we do have a candlelight service.
Oh, wonderful.
And so we'll be enjoying some 1 hour candlelight service on the 24th. Mhm.
What time will that happen?
That candlelight service is at 6. No, it's at 5 o'clock. It's at 5 o'clock. I should have been better prepared for that.
No,
'Cause
no,
it's a
you're
little
fine.
It's a little bit different time than what we've had, normally in our midweek service. But
Right.
I believe it's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna go on our website and make sure.
But because that's the thing with with midweek services and stuff with Christmas falling on Wednesday, I don't know of any churches that are going to be open on Wednesday, Christmas Day. I have not heard of any, because everybody's with their family.
Sure.
And just like we have our Celebrate Recovery on Wednesday nights, and we're not going to be able to meet that night.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But,
Exactly.
and it's just because it's, everybody's with their families, and you don't want to put that pressure on the people who have to facilitate that because they have family connections. and
Someone's
things
got
like
to unlock the doors and,
You bet.
and open the
You bet.
turn on the lights. And
We ended up having our Celebrate Recovery on the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, and all the staff was off, and so all of us volunteers, had to take care of the picking up the trash and doing the things that they all do, which was fine, and we got it done. And we had enough people that were available to do that. But that's one of the reasons why people are like, well, why isn't the church open? That's why, is because you've got staff members, and having been on staff at a church for about 7 years, I get that. And it's hard because being on staff at the church is probably one of the most exhausting things I ever did. I'll be honest with you, because it's constant.
yeah.
I mean, I would get, and I know a lot of people, they're pretty good about turning their phones off and really protecting their personal time. I wasn't good at that. And I think you have to be able to set boundaries when you're working in a church, because you get calls all the time. I would get calls at all hours. And I was just a peon. I was just helping in different things. I helped with I helped the benevolence minister and was working and helping out the missions committee. So my job was super limited, but because here's what'll happen though: when they can't get somebody that they first want, then they'll keep calling. And you know what I mean.
Well, people's level
Yeah.
of needing to know things is different. It's different
Yeah.
for everybody, and
Yeah.
some people need to know right now, and they
Yep.
and they don't really think about how that
affects
Right.
everybody else. And in this day and age of these things, everybody's like, well, they never answer their phone. It's like, well, because y'all call all the time.
Yeah,
At all kinds of crazy hours. And so it's exhausting for people who are in full-time ministry, and for as long as you have been. God bless you.
Well, praise
It's
the Lord.
it's
Thank you.
tough. People don't have any idea. And I mean, it's exhausting. It is exhausting. So I do admire what you do for sure. But so unpack again for us. We've got about 15 minutes here. What your Christmas season's going to look like, and then kind of give us an idea of what you've got going into the new year. Are y'all going to do any New Year stuff, anything like that?
So let me back up just a little bit to this
Okay.
week. Our school, South Haven Christian School, has got a big program on Friday night that I
Oh,
failed
okay.
to mention earlier. But it's actually a really cool thing. They're doing like an old radio broadcast. So it's like a Christmas radio broadcast.
Neat.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'd love that.
It's going to be packed. So if you have listeners that just want to come and see, they're welcome to, but you're going to want to come early. It starts at 7 o'clock. And the students put all that. It's all student, and there's choirs and different things. But yeah, that's the theme.
Fun. Is
Yeah.
it something that is a script that they've obtained, or did they write the script? Because is that something you can record and publish? Because that's one of the things you run into in when you're doing plays and things like that. Like our theater department, Dr. Wilson, they're going to do Music Man. Well, you can't republish that. There's all kinds of copyrights and things like that. So you could videotape it for the kids to see themselves, but you can't publish it. So is this going to be something you could actually publish to your website?
Yeah, we will. We will be live streaming it. We
cool.
wrote this. The school
There you
wrote
go.
the script, and yeah.
Well, that'll be cool because I want to see that.
Yeah.
I'm a super big fan of old radio.
Yeah.
I love it. I still have the boxes of cassette tapes where you could buy the old radio shows.
Oh,
and
yeah,
listen
yeah.
to it. Of course, now we call it podcast. People don't realize they're like, we're just new. We're podcasting. I'm like, no, you're doing old school radio because they're acting out
Yeah.
things. They're doing drama on radio, and they think they're so innovative
with
and
the
new. And
sound
it's like it's
effects,
going
you know.
full circle, y'all.
Yeah.
Full circle is what we call that.
Yeah.
That's how it started. Go, War of the Worlds. Go check that one out. Some of those old classics. But it just tickles me. It just tickles me how people think, oh, have you heard this? I'm like,
Yeah, there's nothing new. There's
nothing new. But I think it's really cool that they're revisiting that.
Yeah.
And I would love to see what they come up with. I would love to see this because I cannot be there. I'm getting ready. My family's Christmas celebration is Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I always go, I'm a boy mama. I just want to get out of the way, let's do it. Let's do our thing. And I'm telling you, if you have stress in your family over who's going to go where and what, give it up and have it early and take the pressure off your family. It is such a great blessing. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out because it's just, and then you can go and visit them on the day or see them and you can just, it's just, we did the same thing with Thanksgiving and it's wonderful because it allows your family, your kids and their in-laws and all that to not be pressured about, we got to go here for an hour and then here for an hour and jump around and all that.
It's exhausting.
Yes.
Yeah.
You end up not having any fun. And so we get to be first. So, my grandkids, I saw them this weekend and I said, we're going to have Christmas Saturday. And they're like, oh, I said, yeah. I said, it's the start of the Christmas extravaganza.
Yeah.
Starts at Mama and Papa's house. And, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun. And we also have a child that was born on the 21st.
Oh wow.
And he just is we could say, okay, we're going to have Christmas the weekend before Christmas at our house, but he's like, it's my birthday weekend. No. So we like to respect that too. And so, just go early, y'all. You might be surprised how much fun you can have. So anyway,
That's awesome.
I digress. But because of that, there's no way. I would love to come and see this live. I really would because I love radio.
It'll be streamed, and then of course we'll archive it on South Haven Christian School.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So we have a YouTube page, South Haven Christian School, and then also our Facebook page.
The Brown girls go there, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they going to be involved in
I
that?
believe they're playing. Yes.
Oh, I'm
Friday
sure.
night,
She's my sister.
Yeah.
Love that name, number one. I think that's just the cutest thing. But Reagan and Amelia, right?
Yep.
Did I get it right? And those girls are so talented. So much fun to see. Were they involved with your bluegrass thing that you did Sunday night? Did they help out with that? Because they do a lot of bluegrass.
Yeah, they were not. This was a group we had in from South Carolina,
Okay.
and they had the whole evening. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I think I invited them to come, but I'm not sure if they came. or not.
Actually, you know what? They were playing at the museum.
Oh, okay.
That's what was going on. We had just an amazing weekend here in Robertson County. We had the parade on Saturday night, and then we had the Winter Wonderland opened up Saturday night. Then they had this historic homes where you can get see the Christmas lights and all of that at the museum. And the girls played at the museum, and I completely forgot about that. I was just so tied up. It was our birthday weekend with my husband and I, and so we were tied up with the kiddos in Nashville. So, there's just so much fun going on, but it's just a great time to be from Robertson County, y'all, because there's just so many wonderful things going on. So unpack for us again. Let's just pretend you just sit down, talk to me about the events, walk me through it, and let's kind of spill over into New Year's if y'all have something that you know about what you're going to be doing for New Year. Go for it.
So we have this Friday night is the South Haven Christian School Christmas Radio Spectacular play, and that'll be this Friday night. Choirs will be singing. Sunday morning, starting at 9 o'clock, is our children's Sunday School Christmas program, and then all involved is that is our live nativity all day. So we have the wise men, the shepherds, Mary and Joseph, and we have Gumbo, the Christmas camel. We've got some miniature donkeys and some sheep, and so they'll be here all day. Just the camel will be here in the morning.
Okay.
And then in the evening, the choir and orchestra presenting here with us, and music old and new from our choir and orchestra about the Christmas season. And that'll be an awesome thing. We've got our handbell choir. So we've got, we brought that out. We've got a
What
beautiful,
is that?
so we were gifted a beautiful set of handbells, and
Oh, I thought you said hambo.
oh,
And I was like, what is a hambo? I thought, is that a new instrument? Handbell.
yeah, handbell.
Now I
choir.
know. I was
Yeah.
like, what are you? Okay. I
So
misunderstood you.
That
Okay.
we used to have a handbell choir years ago, and we've got it kind of
Wow,
resurrected, and
cool.
so that's gonna be
That's
really
gonna be
cool.
Beautiful.
So they'll open up the service on Sunday night, the concert.
Okay. Oh, fun.
So then after that concert, we'll have hot chocolate and fire pits outside, and that'll be a lot of fun. And then the 21st, we have our choir be singing Christmas songs in the morning, and then we have our regular morning service. And then Tuesday night on the 24th is our candlelight service for Christmas Eve, and that's at 6 p.m. I was
Okay.
incorrect earlier. That's at 6 p.m. Tuesday
Okay.
night, the 24th. So, and then we will have regular services on Sunday after that. The new year, I'll go back just a little bit. Sunday night on, I believe it's the 31st? We have some of our young men. So on the 29th and on January 1st, we have we have some young men that'll be preaching that are in Bible college, and they're from our church. So these are young guys that have gone out from our church. They're in college, taking some sort of ministry degree, a course of study, and they're going to be speaking on
Wonderful.
Sunday night. So they'll each have like 10, 15 minutes,
That's
and they're
cool.
going to practice their messages and speak to us. Preach
That's
to us.
great.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So that'll just, I'd like to talk about as when we opened up the door to Thanksgiving, I like to talk about the trilogy of holidays, and it's not something I came up with. I got it from Glenn Beck, and I just love the message of it, though, where it's he talks about how it used to always be this heaviness at the holidays, and then he decided to try to package it differently to where you go into Thanksgiving with this this feeling of thanksgiving and just praise and praise and praise, going into the birth of Christ. And it's about the birth of Christ. We look at the miracle of the birth, but it's about what he came to do, and that new birth that he gives us because of his birth, as we bound into the new year with that chance of new birth and redemption every single day that we hold a breath.
That's a great way of looking at it.
And I love it. I absolutely love it, because so many people, they have this heaviness during the holidays, and we just have to overcome that. I like to tell. I saw something. I think I saw it on social media. That darkness is not a thing. It's just the absence of the light. So just be the light. Just be determined to be the light during this season, right?
Yeah, if you can just get yourself out there, Lee is really good about encouraging everybody to get yourself out there, and especially if you're feeling that sadness that so many feel this season because of just past hurt, anxiety, whatever it is. The only way to shake that off is not to stay inside and to be introspective. You've got to get out, do something, volunteer somewhere,
Yes.
Go to an event, go to church, get yourself out. You have to make yourself. And if you know somebody that's hurting like that
Yeah.
deeply, just short of, physically picking them up,
Yes.
really work at pulling, because it's worth it, because
Yeah.
people are just going to keep going down and down and down, as we
Yeah.
see in ministry, if they don't have something to look to and someone to look to. And that's,
Absolutely. And guys, you can find no better place to find that connection than in a church, in a congregation. And there are so many beautiful congregations. South Haven's a beautiful congregation, be a beautiful place for you to come and be a part of. And y'all have got wonderful events all the way through the holiday season to help bring people in. I think that's just wonderful. If you are not part, this is like, everybody, I've been at Madison since 1989, because when my husband and I was talking to Becky about this before you came in, you know, we had no family. I'm from Kentucky. He is from just south of Lake Superior, the upper peninsula of Michigan. I mean, he's practically Canadian. And we were down here and had twins. You know, we had, got pregnant and we were having twins. And I mean, that church circled around us and has been our family ever since. You know, you find those places. I don't know how people live without their family, their spiritual family.
Amen.
I do not. And we have these beautiful examples of it in this county. I'm telling you, and you walk in one place and maybe it's not quite the right fit, then knock on the next door, man, and just keep going. But like what Jason's saying here, don't seclude, don't become reclusive in things. Get out there and be a part of what's going on.
We were meant to be and live and do life in community, and God knew in His wisdom that people needed church.
Yep.
And sometimes people don't feel like they want church anymore because they get hurt or something.
Yeah.
Don't let the devil deceive you into thinking that church is not necessary and important because of some past hurt. You can find and you will find what God has for you through the local church.
You better believe it. I heard, of all people, Russell Brand. I didn't even know who this guy was until he became a Christian. He's crazy. I was like, I look in his past, I'm like, wow, what a story of redemption. But he's just digging in deep, and it's so fun to listen to him because he's got this cool accent. But he put something out the other day, and he says, it occurred to me that, we were created to worship. And if we don't worship God, we'll find something to worship. Yeah. And he talks about, for so long, he worshiped all the things of the flesh. And it's such a beautiful message. And I was like, wow, and it just, we were beings created to worship. And if you do not worship the God of the creation, then you're going to find something to worship. And it may be gaming, or it may be just reclusion or Netflix or whatever, but you're going to find that thing that you become addicted to because you have not found a place for your worship and your praise. And I know y'all have a great recovery program. I work with Celebrate Recovery. What is y'all's recovery program called?
Yeah, Journey to Recovery meets on Wednesday nights. Yeah,
and it meets on Wednesday nights. And how long has that been around?
We've been in the recovery ministry for 15, 20 years.
Long time.
Journey to Recovery, it was kind of rebranded, reconstituted back about 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, Johnny and Cindy Norton do a wonderful job of reaching out, and a lot of folks have reached out this year or this time of year, for help. Bet. And that meets every Wednesday night, 7:00, and they have a wonderful community of folks made up from church members and people from the community alike, where families and couples that are solid, that are reaching out and helping, in community how
beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great thing.
I mean, that's the thing. There's just, like I said, South Haven's got it going on, y'all. They got a lot of stuff happening, and that's beautiful. I love it.
We're thankful for what God is doing.
Well, anytime y'all need time, just come on, just reach out. And I don't know if you have my number. Get it from Lee Marie if you don't, and reach out and just let me know what y'all have going on, and we'll talk up the stuff y'all have going on for the holidays.
Thank you.
And Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you too.
Merry Christmas, Jason. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you guys for joining us. We're out of time. It's 8:00, but I hope you'll continue to join us all week. Tomorrow is Dr. Danny Weeks' day. They've got the school board meeting tonight. So if you want to know what's going on in our schools, tonight would be a great night. You can go to the meeting and see what's happening. And if you want just an update on it, you can join me with Dr. Danny Weeks tomorrow morning right here on 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a great day.